are you pouring from an empty cup? Self-care, it's real cliche these days, right? When you think about the brunching with your friends, the pedicures, the manis, shopping, and all those things. And that could absolutely be a part of self-care. But self-care is truly a lifestyle. It's a daily routine. It doesn't always have to look the same every day, but it's a lifestyle of what you do every day to pour into yourselves. You think about the quote, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's true. It's real. Think about all the things that we do every day to pour into everyone else around us. Our family, our friends, it could be your children, your spouse, your romantic partner, depending on what type of job, your occupation, you're pouring into other people. And are you getting that in return? Are you receiving that from your family, your friends, your romantic partners? Those are questions that you should really ask yourself, because sometimes family, friends, and romantic partners can be distractions. I once dated someone, and I was communicating so much with that individual that I had no time to pour into myself. In the morning, we started our day communicating, in the evenings, and it took away from me just having that quiet time to myself throughout the day, because in the middle, I'm working, and I felt that. I absolutely felt that, because I was pouring so much and being so available for that individual that I wasn't pouring into Jessica. And even when you think about your friendships, right? Do your friends reciprocate what you give to them? And that's something that you really may have to think about. I know me and my girlfriends, most of us communicate daily. At one point, and I've talked about this in prior videos, that I'm so busy right now with my 9 to 5, my brand, being consistent with YouTube and Instagram, and trying to get those things taken care of, that I unintentionally was unavailable to my friends. And the funny thing is, they really didn't realize it. It's not something that they were bothered by, but when I caught it, I was like, hey, I realized, I just kind of been pulled back. And then one of my friends, she and I communicate. We are very, very good about, fasting together, being prayer partners. Also, she's someone who really helped me along my financial journey, encouraged me to step up my credit score game. But I've learned so much from her because she's older than I am. And she and I would text daily. And when I kind of pulled back because I had so much going on, I just mentioned to her, I was like, I know I hadn't been around much, hadn't really been communicated, but it's been truly busy. And she said, you know what? It didn't even need to be said. Like, I understand. And she's someone that we have spoke about being in friendships where others do not reciprocate what they receive from you. And everyone has a different capacity, right? All your friends are not going to be able to do the same. But when you think about self-care in the relationships that you have with others, are you pouring so much into everyone else that you have absolutely nothing to give to yourself? And that's where it comes into it being a lifestyle, a daily routine, which it doesn't have to be that checklist of things that you do, but every day you're giving yourself something that recharges you, fills you up, and it can be anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour a day. And if you have more time, perfect. But I always recommend my clients just start with 15 minutes of their day pouring into themselves. And once they make that a routine, then they can add more. Why is that so important? One, we are our biggest cheerleaders. We are our biggest supporters. I love to say, don't nobody have Jessica's back like Jessica got Jessica's back. And you have to do everything to take care of yourself and make sure you're okay. Yes, you have loved ones around who support you and encourage you and love you and, probably motivate and cheer you on. But if you're not doing that for yourself, then what good is that? One, you may not even be able to receive it, right? You're not even grateful, appreciative of it because you're not doing it for yourself, and you may not recognize it. But just think how much more full you would be if you were pouring yourself up, right? You're making sure your cup is full, and now somebody else is pouring more into you. So when you think about self-care, don't think of you have to spend money. Don't think of, I got to create a checklist of things that I have to do. It's going to take 3 hours. It's going to take an hour. It can be something as simple as 15 minutes of your day. It could also be something as simple as on your way to work, how are you spending your day? Are you on the phone with a friend? your mom, a family member. How are you spending that time? Could you be listening to an audiobook, a podcast? Maybe you're writing in complete silence. You need that time to think and process whatever it is that you want to think about that you can't do at home because it's so busy. Maybe, depending on who lives with you or children, it's so busy and loud when you're home that you don't even have that time to just sit still. Maybe that your car ride to and from work is that opportunity to do it. Self-care also includes boundaries and understanding that you can't be everything to everyone without being it to yourself first. So when you think of self-care, don't think of it as a checklist. Don't think of it as a way that you have to spend money. Think of it as a way that every single day you do something for yourself, even if it's for 15 minutes. I shared with one of my clients that, she was talking about being, getting things done throughout the day at work, but was always going to lunch with her coworkers. My suggestion, well, maybe you don't go to lunch with them every day. And even though it may seem like you're a little antisocial and you're not engaged with the team, set that boundary and help them understand you've got a ton of work that you need to get done. Does it make more sense to take your lunch break if you have the capacity and that's what you would like to do, to get it done during work versus staying later and having to do it? Now, I'm a huge advocate for stepping away and taking breaks throughout work. But if you're in a situation where you'd rather spend that time during your lunch break where you have peace and quiet, you can eat, you can get your work done, and then you'll be able to leave work on time versus staying on the later end of the day, adding that additional 60 minutes on the back end, then do it. And it's okay and healthy to set boundaries in the workplace. But you have to say yes to yourself and not say no to yourself by giving yes to someone else. Like, it's okay. You can do what's best for you. So if you're battling self-care and you don't know what to do, how to start, think of something that makes you happy and that you can fit into a 15-minute window. Whether that's reading an article, watching YouTube, meditating, sitting still in silence, writing in the journal. Hey, maybe it's, your skincare routine, but it's something that you're giving to yourself, just 15 minutes to start the day, and then slowly build onto that and make it a 60-minute habit every day. Some people do it at the beginning and the end of the day, but start small. It is absolutely doable. You just have to put the time in and be consistent and believe that you are worth pouring into yourself every single day. Thank you for watching my video and my YouTube channel.